Welcome back to Noir Alley. I'm your host, Eddie Muller. Blame it on my having watched a lot of crime movies, but every time I walk through a place filled with money, I can't help but think about how I'd steal it. Well, not me personally, but, me, if I was a criminal. Like I say, maybe I've seen too many heist pictures, which is what we've got today. A caper about a crew who decides to knock over a casino. Not because they're crooks, mind you, but because they think they can. It's Five Against the House, released in 1955 by Columbia Pictures. It's pretty common in film noir to find hard-luck veterans of the Second World War getting mixed up in crimes to make ends meet. This film is a bit different. The gang behind this caper is a quartet of Korean War veterans, all attending college on the GI Bill. These guys are a far cry from the hard cases in a heist film like Kansas City Confidential, an earlier film by Phil Carlson, director of Five Against the House. Guy Madison, Brian Keith, Kerwin Matthews, and Alvy Moore are not even close to your typical menacing noir crooks. They're overaged college students, determined to engage in the adolescent hijinks they missed out on while serving overseas. They all have different motives for committing the perfect crime, and one of them, of course, turns out to be a loose cannon. The original story, Five Against the House, was written by Jack Finney, mainly known today as the author of two famous fantasy novels, 1955's The Body Snatchers, which has been made into a film 4 times, and the 1970 time travel novel Time and Again, which has so far eluded on-screen adaptation. Finney's story was bought by Sterling Silliphant, just starting his prolific career as a writer and producer. Prior to this, Silliphant had worked for Walt Disney, mainly as director of publicity. The same year he wrote Five Against the House, he helped Disney create the Mickey Mouse Club for television. Adding some extra punch to the dialogue is veteran wisecracker Bill Bowers, a familiar name around these parts. Bowers was brought on the project by director Phil Carlson, having written the final draft of another film Carlson made in 1955, Tight Spot. Much of Five Against the House was shot on location in Reno, Nevada, the biggest little city in the world. In 1955, Reno and Las Vegas were still battling it out to become the gambling capital of the West. And Reno rolled out the red carpet for Carlson and company, figuring the big screen exposure would help the tourist trade. That included Harold's Club inviting the filmmakers in to rob their casino, at least on screen. The cowboy-themed club had been built in 1935 by brothers Harold and Raymond Smith. They marketed the hell out of it, erecting billboards along interstate highways showing a covered wagon with the slogan, "Harold's Club or Bust." It was an inspired ad campaign that made the casino a national destination in the 1950s and 60s. For Columbia, however, the most important aspect of this film was the fifth of the Five Against the House, Kim Novak. She'd made her movie debut the previous year in the terrific noir Pushover, but wasn't yet the star she'd become the following year, opposite William Holden in Picnic. This is a pretty thankless role, but Novak, like a true star, takes over whenever she's on camera, even if her musical numbers are dubbed by singer Joanne Greer. Featuring a nice supporting turn by William Conrad in a non-heavy role for a change, here is Five Against the House.